Sacramento. And Draymond basically said they're going to get it in the hands of the veteran and let him make the decisions on who to pass to, when to go to the bucket, who gets the shots in each possession down. And he did a great job. He fell down the one time. But other than that, he was great. He hit probably the biggest jumper of the game. You could argue that Castle hit the biggest jumper, but he put the game, made it a two-possession game and with very little time left.
Castle and Vassell are hard to say in the same game.
They are. Cassell and Vassell. So San Antonio wins at 115-111. We'll talk a lot about that today. M&M Cartage Hotline is open. Trey, get ready for the calls. 502-384-1450.
They're probably lined up.
They're probably lined up. We might get one. If they do call, you got to say it in my ear because I can't see you on the old screen here. 384-1450. Game Day Men's Health text line is open as well. Text the show if you'd like. 502-414-1450. Game Day Men's Health, redefining men's wellness. No shortcuts, just results. Testosterone, peptides, weight loss, sexual performance therapy. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com, defining a new era in men's health. By the way, I did not do a max pack yesterday. We ran out of time.
And you would have hit it.
Well, I would have hit two of them. I don't know what baseball game I would have took. Probably would have took the Reds with Abbott pitching, and they lose again. So probably 2-1 last night. Oh, Reds. We'll get to that, too. And we'll also talk some more about Brandon Sorsby. This is the reactions from college football coaches and administrators has been swift, and it has not been good for this judge who is going to allow him to play at Texas Tech this year. Suspended officially for 2 games. We'll talk more about that in the second segment. Game 4 tomorrow night, San Antonio and New York. 8:30 ABC. Do you know what the spread is? Have you looked?
No.
All right, what's the spread?
Knicks are barely favorite. 1.5.
2.5 again, just like it was last night. And we talked about Vegas wanted you to bet the Knicks last night.
They definitely did.
And Vegas was saying, here, please bet the Knicks. I didn't bite. We talked about it on the show.
No, we talked about it.
Spurs were the bet last night. They're a more desperate team. And I will say this. They are the more talented team roster. But they're also the less experienced team. Because Josh Hart's been around a long time. Mikal Bridges, Brunson, obviously, Karl Anthony Towns. You got 20, 21, 22-year-olds. OG Anunoby was fabulous last night. He was great. Just wasn't enough. Richard Jefferson doing the game. You sent me a text. You're not a big Richard Jefferson fan.
He wears me out. His voice, and he doesn't add much, if you ask me.
Yeah. And Tim Legler either for me.
I agree with you.
Breen's
Mike
great.
Green's so good. What? Put Reggie Miller on.
Can't do it. He's on NBC.
Give him a.
Sorry, we got a contract.
Put Chuck on the
Can't do it.
He'll talk to Dick Vitale the whole time.
By the way, Dick Vitale will come up on the third segment today.
Uh-oh.
You know what that means?
I did not know that.
You know what that means? The Knicks were up 7 at halftime. At halftime, I was going, especially after the last 2 minutes of the first half, I was going, this is it. That's it.
Spurs looked terrible at the end of the first half.
Charles actually said, this is over at halftime. We were both wrong, Charles and I both, because you're right. They were bad at the end of the first half. It's a 7-point Knicks lead, which turned out that was their biggest lead of the game. And I thought they're going to pull away here in the third quarter. I give San Antonio a lot of credit. They came out early in that third quarter, early in the game too, really, with Wemby down low. But they came out in that third quarter. The Knicks scored 42 in the second quarter. So, not a whole lot of defense from a Spurs team that plays good defense. And, Tony, there's been one theme here for the Spurs all 3 games. We are going to play defense on Jalen Brunson. We are not going to let him move.
Castle does a really good job, and he has length, which makes a big difference guarding Brunson. He's a lot taller and longer, and he's strong. But, when you put Castle or you put Harper on him, you have size.
Harper's long, too.
And you can kind of – and they're strong physical guys, so it makes it hard on Brunson. Now, what's he shooting for the series? Tom, we went over this before the show.
Excuse me. He had 32 last night. So, they knocked him down. Wemby should have got a flagrant foul for basically pushing him down with the head. But here's the problem with Wemby. He can't just push somebody in the chest because he's so tall he's actually pushing them in the head. And he knocked Brunson down. Should have been a flagrant one, but he got away with it. But they have physically knocked him around. Castle put him on his back last night when he tried to block him out, I guess.
But don't you think, John, that they're doing the same thing to Wemby? They're trying to beat him up.
They are. They hook and hold him a lot, as much as they can get away with.
You made a great point to me.
This is not a fun series to watch.
You made a great point to me. If you're not into this, you don't want to watch this. Because it's like the 3-on-3 they used to have downtown. I didn't play in it. You know why?
You didn't want to get hurt.
I didn't want to get hurt. It was too physical. I'm not a big guy. I'm more of a finesse guy. I don't want to play.
I've always said you're a finesse guy.
Thank you.
Yeah. 30 for 81 is Jalen Brunson in this series, which is 37%. Now, in the last 4 minutes of game,
he scores.
He's unbelievable. But 12 for 31 in game 1, 7 for 25 in game 2. My question would be, how the hell did they win both of those games? And then 11 for 25 last night, which turns out to be his best shooting performance of the series so far. If you're the Knicks, how can you counteract this other than do what Mike Brown did in the postgame, beg the referees to make some calls?
You can't complain about refereeing, either team.
Oh, he did.
Well, you can't. And you said you listened to Boomer and whatever, and all they did was
Boomer, the New York fans calling in all over the referees. That's all they wanted to talk about.
Wemby early in the game scored a couple of times, got hit, and looked at the referee. Everybody complains, but they don't complain when they're pushing and grabbing and hooking. So it's got to balance out somewhere. Here's one of the biggest stats, I think, in that game. 3-point shooting, and they won this game. Fox and Harper were 1 for 13.
Not good.
And they won the game.
Fox had 12 points and 8 assists, and again, he was in charge in the last 3 or 4 minutes of that game.
He was 0 for 5, and Harper was 1 for 8 from the 3.
And he might have hit the biggest shot of the game, little 15-footer.
Oh, it was the biggest shot.
Wemby finished with 32 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 block shots. Here's the funny thing. We're talking about how bad Wemby's playing in this series. His numbers are incredible.
Yeah.
His numbers are incredible. But he did have the turnover late in game 2.
Yeah, he did.
Man, it's raining outside.
It is pouring.
He did have the turnover, costly turnover, when Mitch Johnson should have called timeout as soon as they got the rebound. But hindsight's 20/20, and he missed the jumper at the end of game 2. So the theory is, well, he's not playing very well. Well, actually, his numbers, I disagree.
In your mind, you say, well, he shot 18 times, but in my mind, he had to get more shots.
Yeah. And you brought up a point before the show. First 3 possessions, he had a dunk and 2 layups.
He was all around the basket.
And then he for some reason, he likes to come out by the 3-point line and hang around there the rest of the game.
Yeah, anybody that listens to the show knows that I say, why is he 30 feet from the basket when he's 7'4", and he can reach over the top of everybody, even Karl Anthony Towns he can reach over the top of. And then his shot goes up, he'll be standing behind the 3-point line just watching.
But he can shoot, Tony.
I know, but you can't rely on him shooting.
He doesn't miss free throws. I don't know what he was last night. And he hit a couple threes in rhythm last night that were just pure.
8 for 9 from the free throw line.
Yeah. I mean, I feel
11 for 18 from the field.
You got to feel good because they're not going to, if they're going to hammer him and they're not going to let him shoot dunks and layups, then he's going to make the free throws.
And he was 2 for 4 from the 3-point line.
Harper had 13 and 9 rebounds with 4 assists. He is, you got to remember this about these guys. And I heard this earlier today as well. Dylan Harper, his dad played in the NBA. He's played on that court. He played at Rutgers. He's played on that court a lot.
Played for the Bulls when they were going in there.
Stephon Castle played on that court in Big East tournaments. Won the national championship. I mean, these guys, they might be young, but they've got more experience than you think.
I think the stat said the first players in NBA history, Wembanyama and Castle, under 22 years old to score 20 points.
Yeah, that might be right.
And again,
Castle had 23 last night.
Yeah, I mean, you think of how young they are, and
yeah. But Champagny had a couple of threes. He had a couple of big threes.
He played in that place often.
He did.
St. John's.
Little St. John's guy. He had 12. OG, you mentioned, Anunoby, 28 points and 5 rebounds.
Making some money, man.
And he went at Wemby and dunked it a couple times. It's like, hey, you're going to block a layup, I'm just going to dunk it.
Why would Wemby lunge out at any shooter to go past him.
He did block a 3-pointer from the corner last night.
But twice Obi went past him. OG went by him.
Yeah.
Is it OG Indiana?
OG Indiana.
That's what you call it?
That's what Scooter called him. Hart had his best shooting game, but that's not what you need out of him. He had 16 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. And you're not going to get that out of him every game. Cat, 11 points, 8 rebounds. Not a great performance from Karl Anthony Towns, who I was touting as the MVP yesterday of this series.
And I was agreeing.
I'm kind of off that fence right now after that game.
What kind of game did Bridges have?
I didn't write his numbers down, so they couldn't have been that good.
2 points.
Oh,
5 rebounds, 2 assists.
The Villanova 3 there, Hart, Bridges, and Brunson. Turnovers 13-8. And this is what Wemby said after the game. Look, we just can't turn it over at the end of the game. Wow. And they didn't. They only had 8 for the game.
He can't start 30 feet from the basket and put it on the floor and beat people. He's a great
he's
ball
gonna try.
handler, but, man, it don't work.
He's going to keep trying. I'll tell you that.
Where was Jay Wright? He should be in the front row like Cal always is.
Boy, isn't that the truth? Does he just not want to go?
Those guys should have him sitting right at half court.
Well, I think that the Mitch Johnson, or not Mitch Johnson, Mike Brown's afraid he's going to try to coach him. And then he's going to take over his job for the Knicks.
And what a retread on Mike Brown. When they took Mike Brown.
Well, he was an assistant at Golden State in those great years.
Yeah, but he'd been in a head coach and not been good.
Right?
Yeah. And they got rid of him everywhere. And when they hired him, in New York, they're like,
well, when Thibodeau got fired last year, at the end of the year, the Knicks fans were like, what are we doing? This guy got us to the NBA Eastern Conference Finals last year against Indiana. How can we fire this guy? Mike Brown, really? New York fan was up in arms.
I guarantee it.
And now, look, where are we now? He's a bum.
Hired that bum.
By the way, NHL tonight, Carolina, Vegas.
Turn it on. We keep telling you to watch the
8 o'clock
NHL.
on ABC. Why did I think Vegas was up 3-0?
No, 2-1, man.
Yeah, I know. I know. I can read it. I thought they were up 3-0 in my head.
Carolina came back.
It was 4-0 in the third period, and it went to double overtime the other night.
Right, that seemed like 2 games, didn't it?
I watched part of the first one, and when it was 4-0, 3-0, I turned it off, and then I watched a little bit of the first overtime. I said, no, I can't do this. 8 o'clock ABC, slight favorite for Vegas tonight. Over under 5.5 goals. Yes, I've already bet it.
There you go. 5.5 you had to go.
I've got Carolina and over 5.5.
I knew that, man.
All right, we'll take a break. Come back. College World Series is set. We'll talk about that. Backlash from the Brandon Sorsby News. Birthday's coming up as well. Spears on Sports presented by M&M Cartage, Big X.
Don't panic, just ask.
ASI's AI assistant gives fast answers. Type it, tap it, just ask.
Type it, tap it, no matter the task, just ask. At asiplumbing.com.
Defining a new era in men's health, Game Day Men's Health delivers real results with no shortcuts. From testosterone replacement, weight loss to peptides, vitamins, and sexual performance therapy, Game Day Men's Health will have you covered. Their in-house lab gives you answers in just 15 minutes, and our clinic is designed for men who value privacy, speed, and results. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Real men, real
let's get it over with, Tony. He was reinstated by a Texas court. The 5 judges
in Lubbock
on
County.
that court in Lubbock are all Texas Tech grads. This guy made $90,000 worth of bets over a 4-year period. 40 of those bets came when he was an Indiana Hoosier.
On the games.
On his own games. Now, to be fair, he didn't bet, like Pete Rose, he didn't bet against his team. He bet on his team. Back then, I don't think betting on Indiana was a good thing, though.
No, you went against him.
And we go back to, nobody ever stands up at Gamblers Anonymous and says, "Hi, I'm Brandon. Hey, Brandon, I'm an addicted gambler, and I'm up $40,000. Nobody ever says that. You're always down. But there's been an uproar in the college football community now since this ruling came down yesterday, actually while we were on the air yesterday. Some of the funny ones, Tyrann Mathieu,
I love this.
the Honey Badger, former LSU player, played for the Chiefs, among others, in the NFL. He tweeted out yesterday, "Can I return back to college football? I only played 2 seasons, should have 2 more eligibility years left. Can you find me a judge in Louisiana who can see to it that Honey Badger gets to finish his last 2 years of college football? Who's going to say no?"
Get an injunction.
And he's right. But the serious side of this is you got commissioners of conferences, you got ADs lining up and saying, this is crazy. This is absolutely wrong. It sends the wrong message, and it is another step toward destroying the game of college football. Do you agree?
Yeah. I mean, you talk about second chances. I mean, everybody needs second chances.
Yeah, I agree.
But
you can give him a second chance without letting him play football.
Right. And what he did is in all sports is a no-no. But, I mean, we were talking about, what's the guy down there, I can't think of his name, at Alabama, the basketball player.
Bediago.
And all you got to do is go find the right person to give you an injunction, and you can almost do anything. But don't you think that this is going to get changed?
I hope it does. I hope cooler heads prevail. If it does, now you've got ADs now. I think Nebraska and Georgia both have come out and have told their coaches, we are not scheduling Texas Tech in any sport. Now that's a SEC team and a Big Ten team. Big 12 is having a meeting of ADs today for that exact. Now I don't know if they can pull that off. I don't know if the Big 12 can actually say we're not going to play Texas Tech. Can Iowa State say we're not going to play Texas Tech? Can BYU say we're not going to play them? I don't know. They're going to try, I think. Sonny Dykes, TCU coach, said, we have officially lost our soul. How is anyone ever going to trust the outcome of a game again? Right?
Well, I never thought of it that way.
Well, here's another one from a coach anonymously who says, and I love this one, actually, if I can get it big enough where I can read it. If this is the precedent, then I owe it to my players to bring in people from Las Vegas to teach us how to gamble. Then collectively, we need to decide which games we will play hard in to cover the spread and which ones we won't. I'm supposed to do what's best for my players, and in that case, they would be able to make a lot of money betting on our games. That's the precedent that's being set for me.
Well, when they legalize,
and it's smart for that coach not to put his name on that.
Yeah, that's just being facetious. He's being facetious.
I know, but he's not necessarily wrong.
I know he's just trying to get a point across is what he's doing. But when they went to gambling online, it changed everything. And
an 8-year-old can do it.
If I watched the thing on one of the national news a while back, and it talks about the percent of college students that are gambling online, and it is off the charts. And how much money do you have? I mean, a guy like Sorsby, he's making money.
Yeah.
But just in general.
Trey, do you gamble online?
Yeah, I do.
How easy is it?
I mean, it's ridiculously easy.
You don't do Kalshi, do you?
No, I don't mess around with any of that stuff.
I mean, these new things where you can bet on when the next bomb's going to be dropped in Iran.
It's going to rain or not.
Nuts.
It's crazy. Well, yeah, you can bet. By the way, if you bet rain today, you're up. It is freaking pouring out there.
I'm Tony. I'm here at Gamblers Anonymous. I lost $100,000 on when it rained.
ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips told ESPN the ruling represents a horrendous pattern that is, quote, eroding the integrity of our process. Big Ten officials are expected to discuss in the upcoming days a league-wide mandate not to schedule Texas Tech in any sports in the regular season. That came in the wake of Nebraska AD Troy Dannon telling ESPN that his school teams are also not allowed to schedule the Red Raiders. Now, this is hurting other programs in the Texas Tech family here.
Yeah.
And maybe Texas Tech are the ones, and they don't want to do this because this is their quarterback. And you got to win games. And if you're the coach, I get all that. But Texas Tech are the ones that have to step up and say, you know what, we're going to give him his release. He's not going to play here. If somebody else wants him, they can have him.
Yeah, I think so. And the other side of it, if he is eligible to play, what are the ramifications on paying him if he starts to
he's
play?
supposed to get paid.
I know, but they've got to have something in there to say, hey, if you come in here and you get this injunction and you get to play, and then they cancel it, we're not going to give you all your money.
I don't know, man.
There's a lot going on there.
These contracts now, these NIL contracts, these boosters and these collectives, they're giving them the money up front, and it's so dangerous to do that.
Got to change.
It's like when we worked for a regular job, Tony. It'd be like them paying us a month in advance.
Yeah, I'm sick.
Sure, I'll show up.
Calling in tomorrow.
Crazy. But that's where we stand. I don't expect him to play because maybe this is the fool in me thinking somebody's going to come to their senses.
Yeah, the higher court's gonna drop it. It's going to go up to the next court. And
I don't know if it goes up to the next court though.
Yeah.
He got the ruling he wanted. It's up to the NCAA now to appeal that ruling.
Right.
And the NCAA doesn't have any power. Let's be honest. The SEC and the Big Ten commissioners, they have the power.
Yeah, but the court system. I mean, you got Joe and Bob down in Lubbock going, yeah, he's eligible. We'll get the injunction, and then you go, hey, if I'm the NCAA or whatever, I want it to move to another
I didn't
court.
think Lubbock, Texas, was going to be the site of our summer discussions.
Lubbock, Texas.
Come on down, home of Patrick Mahomes. By the way. I wonder if Mahomes ever gambled on his own games.
Never.
Come on, whatever.
His wife did.
She's a treat. All right, college baseball. The College World Series in Omaha is set.
It sure is.
2 games Friday, 2 games Saturday. If you're an SEC fan, congratulations. Saturday, all 4 teams that are playing are in the Southeastern Conference. And add one on Friday, and you got 5, Tony, out of 8 teams, one of which is without, it's guaranteed to be in the championship series.
Yeah, they could actually have it covered. I mean, you look at West Virginia. I go back to Kentucky. How close was Kentucky to playing Cal Poly?
And then they'd be playing Troy.
Yeah, I mean.
West Virginia will play Troy in the first game Friday and Ole Miss, North Carolina in the second game.
The 36-30 Troy Trojans.
36-30.
West Virginia's going, man, we gotten lucky.
Yeah, they are because they're also on the side opposite Georgia. Now, Carolina's 5th-ranked team in the country, but they're opposite Georgia, Texas, Bama, and Oklahoma. Bama there for the first time since 1999. Oklahoma took care of Kansas. Alabama took care of St. John's yesterday to finish things up. So Saturday, Oklahoma, Alabama, first game, and night game, Texas and Georgia. So I'll be watching. I don't know about Friday, but Saturday I'll be watching.
Just for a gambling purpose only, Oklahoma's -110 and Texas -115, John. And the other side,
Friday game?
Troy is +160.
Yes, they should be.
And Ole Miss is +130.
Yeah, I like Ole Miss here in that spot. If I had to pick a game where the underdog's going to win, I'd take Ole Miss.
Well, there you go.
Carolina did not
You can bet a
impress me.
parlay on the College World Series.
Do you know what I bet this past week?
I don't even want to know.
The first day, which was Friday, is that right? Or Saturday? It was Saturday. I bet the first 4 games overs.
How'd that go?
2-2. But the numbers are crazy. Like the Georgia-Mississippi State game the other day, 16.5. Now it went over. It was 11-9. But the Carolina Southern Cal game did not go over.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, it hurt me. 5 SEC teams, 1 ACC school, 1 Big 12 school, and, of course, Troy. What conference is Troy in, Tony? USA?
I would say probably.
I'm going to look that up at the break.
Yeah, I'll look it up for you.
I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. Baseball last night. Reds lose again. We'll talk a little bit more about that. They've lost 5 in a row, 11 of 13. Or over 80.5 wins isn't looking too good right now, Tony, because their lineup, Ellie De La Cruz is out of the lineup, and, man, they are exposed right now, lineup-wise. You got a guy playing second nobody's ever heard of. McLean's playing short. Gino Suarez can't hit. Blake Dunn's patrolling center field.
He's good.
Who?
They got Blade in left.
Blade's been good, and
They got
Lowe.
Marte.
Nathaniel Lowe's been pretty
They got
Marte
Marte and right.
back up from Louisville.
And John, the big news.
Stevenson's catching. That's just not a good lineup.
Troy Trojans are in the Sun Belt.
They're in the Sun Belt. That is the big news. All right, we'll take one more break, come back. We got birthdays. I'll try to figure out a max pack for you tonight. There's no basketball, but maybe I'll go with a little hockey and a little baseball. Birthdays, as I mentioned, coming up as well. Spears on Sports, presented by M&M Cartage, Big X. Now, he almost blew it, but, you know.
How much food would Mel Turpin have ate if he was on?
If he was getting a stipend?
Yeah.
Getting NIL money? Ooh, he ate a lot anyway.
Yeah.
Buzz texts in, I can't believe my Crimson O-line brother ignored my calls today.
Oh, I didn't see it. I really didn't. I'm sorry, Buzz.
Oh, come on, Trey. You know, I was going to give you a win over Patrick.
It doesn't make any noise. Which it's obvious. If it made noise, it would
help.
It would interrupt the air, but it doesn't make any noise. So I must not have seen it. I'm sorry, Buzz.
Man,
I apologize. That hurts.
There went your Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That hurts right there.
Who gets Ryan of the week now, Tony?
Give it to Pat. That's a disgrace. I'm sorry, Buzz.
Buzz is cracking.
All right,
up.
let's do birthdays. Oh, he almost made up for it. Is he not going to hit the button? There it is. Yeah, Patrick wins. Although Patrick went early on the birthdays.
Yeah,
So-
he did. He did go very early.
All right, Johnny Depp is 63 today. Do you have a favorite Johnny Depp movie? Pirates of the Caribbean, maybe?
Oh yeah,
Edward
those are great.
Scissorhands?
Those are great. The Pirates.
He's very funny in
What's
those
his name?
movies.
Captain. What's his name? Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow.
He's 63 today. Finn Little. Do you know who that is, Tony? Because I think you watched Yellowstone.
Yes, I did.
He's 20 today, so he's a little kid, I guess.
He's the worst actor in the world.
Wow, that's a little strong.
He's on Marshall's.
You know, Bobcat Goldthwait was an actor.
At least he did something goofy.
Hey.
This kid, every time I watch him, I watch Marshall's. I'm like,
Well, he's 20
wow.
today,
Wow.
so
That's him.
apparently he was good enough in Yellowstone. They brought him back in Marshall's, right?
Yep. Well, he had to because he was the son of the guy that's the star.
Natalie Portman is 45 from Star Wars fame. And among other things, Black Swan comes to mind. Natalie Portman is 45 today. Tony, do you have a scooter meter grade on Natalie Portman?
You know, John, I have to take a good look at her because I know who she is.
She's also an Ivy League graduate. I don't know if that adds points or subtracts points.
I'm going to go 3.5.
All right, Natalie Portman, well done. She's our only one today, by the way.
Okay.
Michael J. Fox, 65 today. Name a movie that is not in the Back to the Future series that starred Michael J.
Big City,
Fox.
Bright Lights.
That's pretty good. It's actually Bright Lights, Big City.
Okay, well, I get
But
everything
you were
wrong.
good. You were good.
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox. But I can be sitting at home flipping around. If I hit Back to the Future, especially the first one, I'm putting the remote.
Really, I don't.
Doesn't matter when it is.
That's one I don't do that on.
I do. Michael J. Fox, 65 today, and he has survived the Parkinson's.
Yep.
So, all right, sports-wise, not a lot of celebrities today. Sports-wise, Peja Stojakovic, Sacramento Kings, 49 today. Is it his son that plays for Illinois?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But Peja could shoot now.
Oh, he's a real good player.
He's 49 today. Udonis Haslem is 46.
Man.
I think he was still playing 2 years ago.
He was, but he's on one of the.
He's on Peacock.
Yeah, he's on one of them.
He's pregame, halftime,
Yeah.
postgame on Peacock, but he was playing with the Heat. He was still on the roster.
He was on the roster.
I'm not going to say he was playing.
I think he was like a coach.
He was still on the roster 2 years ago, and he's 46 today. Wayman Tisdale, the late, great Wayman Tisdale, Oklahoma Sooners.
Number 23.
Born on this date in 1964, tragically passed away in 2009.
And you see where Stacey King passed away.
I
the other
did.
day.
59 years old.
Yeah.
He had one of the great quotes of all time. Michael Jordan and I combined for 70 tonight. Michael had 69. That was one of the greatest quotes ever. Sebastian Telfair
Was going to be one of the greatest players
in Louisville history. He's 41 today, and I haven't heard anything from him
He's
in
from,
about
up there in the
20
Bronx.
years.
Brooklyn,
He probably still plays at Rucker Park.
probably.
Joe Kelly, reliever, former Dodger, among other teams, 38
Cardinals,
today.
everybody, Red Sox.
Well, we got a lot of sad ones. Dave Parker, the Cobra, passed away last year. Born on this date, 1951, would have been 75 today.
Number 39.
The Cobra.
And don't you love seeing pictures of him on X smoking a
Smoking a heater
heater in the
dugout. Yeah. Just
I think people fear Dave Parker.
just firing down a lung dart. No, why not? And he could throw, dude.
Oh, what a
From the
gun! What a
outfield.
gun! Right.
He had the best throw in All-Star game history to Gary Carter at the plate,
missile.
just from the warning track. Rondale Moore, Tony.
Unfortunately,
Tragic story. Would have been 26 today. Former Trinity Shamrock. Jeffersonville Red Devil, I believe.
Purdue,
and then to really fame in the NFL as a really good wide receiver.
He was just injured a lot in the NFL.
Teddy Bruschi is 53. Have a Bruschi for Teddy Bruschi.
I always like Bruschi.
Former Super Bowl champion with the Patriots. Craig Colquitt, you remember him?
Yep.
Punter for the Steelers?
I believe so.
He's 72 today. Dickie V, baby. Dick Vitale is
birthday, baby.
87 today, and I had the under, by the way. But he has beaten cancer at least 3 times.
Just don't put him on TV.
Dickie V is 87 today. You know what's a good retirement age? 87.
Yeah.
And Gary Thorne used to do Orioles games, and he was a big-time hockey announcer.
Yep.
Really good. 78 today. Those are your birthdays. All right, let's do the 6-pack. I don't have a drum roll because I didn't want to put too much on Trey's plate here. So we'll do the 6-pack. It is brought to you by Chad Hennessy with InsureMax, proudly serving the Louisville area for over 25 years. Call Chad today, 479-4085 for all your insurance needs. Again, officially 0-0 yesterday, although I did go 2-0 in my NBA picks. Tonight we'll go hockey. I'm going to go Carolina, Tony. I think they tie this series up on the road. What they did in the third period the other night, I think you'll see a lot of that earlier in this game. You can't get down in a hole, and I don't think they'll get in a hole tonight. I'm going to take Carolina to win this game outright. They're a slight underdog. And also I'm going over 5.5 goals because this series.
Yeah, it's been
I mean, 5.5. This is Vegas wanting me to bet over, and by God, I'm going to. It'll probably end 2-1 tonight in triple overtime. But I'm going to take the over. As far as baseball concerns, I can't trust the Reds anymore. I'm going to take against the Reds until they win.
Yep.
Even though Chase Burns is on the mound tonight, 7-1 with a 205 earned run average against Lucas Giolito in San Diego. 9:40 is game time, by the way. Abbott pitched great last night, but as you mentioned, their offense is just pretty non-existent right now. If you're the Padres have been losing a lot lately as well. But get a couple of runs tonight, that might be all you need against the Reds.
Quick trivia question.
Yep.
Who's the head coach of the Padres?
I don't know.
I don't either. I saw it last night, and I didn't know who he was. I thought you might know.
And you still don't know?
Nope. I just wanted to see if you knew because I figured you knew.
You got to have an answer when you ask a trivia question.
No.
It's not even a trivia question. It's just a general sports knowledge question.
I mean, I can look it up real quick.
Seattle beat Baltimore last night 6-3. Josh Naylor hit a grand slam to put them over the hump. Yankees over Cleveland 7-5 in 10. Cody Bellinger 2-run single in the 10th for the final margin of victory. You got it?
You want to? No, Rise Academy.
Yeah.
I've got the whole thing here, John. You might want to look at this because I was asked a question while I was on the air.
You were?
Yes.
Okay. I do want to promote this because it's coming up a week from Friday. The 4th annual Rise Foundation golf event, Team Scramble, supporting Rise Academy, nonprofit providing Christian education for children on the autism spectrum. June 19th, that's a Friday, a week from now, at the Glen Oaks Country Club out in Prospect. 11:30 registration, 12 o'clock the range opens, 1 o'clock shotgun start, 6:30 dinner reception, silent auction will be going on all day long. A foursome, go to the Rise Foundation website and get yourself a foursome. You can do sponsorships. Everything is on the Rise Academy website. But our boy Chase and
Senator Roby
and Courtney and Senator Roby and Kimberly, big parts of this, and we'll be out there playing.
Our wives are donating their time.
You'll be on the M&M Cartage team. I'll be on a team with, you talk about some bad golfers.
I don't think my team's great.
Me, Buck from Iroquois, Slugger's probably our A player, and Scooter. Scooter's going to join us.
Scooter played well in the old ISCO championship.
ISCO Media Scramble.
And then he kind of hit a wall.
Yeah, he does that. So
I've been in fireballs.
Come on out. Again, a week from Friday, get on the Rise Academy website now and book your spot. It's just a great charity to be a part of.
It really is.
All right. Also, I did want to mention this. The 2026 Big X Sports Radio golf cart is still available. Just a few left. It gets you to play Park Mammoth, Elk Run, Valley View, Old Capitol, Wooded View, and Christmas Lake in Santa Claus, Indiana. $350 card. You can get yours for $149. Again, we are running out, so
Father's Day.
Get yours today. Great Father's Day gift. Go to bigxsportsradio.com or call 812-725-1457. Should I get back to the baseball scores from last night?
Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off.
That's all right, man.
Those were important
Let it
things.
go. Tampa Bay beat Boston 3-1. Yandy Diaz, a leadoff homer. Jim's Red Sox are just not playing very well right now. Philly over Toronto 5-2. Christopher Sanchez is going to win the Cy Young.
He's good.
7 innings, 2 earned runs, 10 strikeouts last night. Houston beat the Angels 5-4 in 10 innings. Christian Walker tied it in the 9th. They win it on a short fly ball in the 10th. San Diego, I mentioned over the Reds. The Reds botched 3 straight bunts in the 7th inning, Tony. I'm trying to think of who the pitcher was. T.J. Antone was in. And San Diego had a guy on first. 1 bunt, base hit. They didn't play it well. Another bunt, base hit, didn't play it well. Another bunt, error, run scores. San Diego has a big inning in the 7th. Reds have lost 5 in a row, 11 of 13.
Boo.
We need them to get hot. Washington gets 3 in the 9th to beat San Francisco on the road last night, 4-3, including the game-winning single from Trinity alum Dalen Lyle. C.J. Abrams had a 2-run single in the inning as well. And then game of the night last night. I know you didn't stay up for this.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the numbers.
It was 8-4 Athletics over Milwaukee after, 4 innings, maybe 3 innings. Milwaukee comes back. They win 15-14 in 12 innings.
10-10 at the end of 9 innings.
Each team got 4 runs in the 10th. Nobody scored in the 11th. And the Milwaukee gets a run in the 12th to win it 15-14. I did have the over in case you were wondering.
I was going to ask you, 34 hits in the game.
11
29.
home runs.
Wow.
11. And the A's hit 7 of the 11 home runs. Have you seen a game at that place?
Yeah, I've watched it on TV.
It's a high school park.
Yeah, it's a
And they're just using it.
It's a AAA ballpark.
AAA park where the Sacramento Bees used to play.
and they fixed it up.
And they're just using it until Vegas is ready.
You made a comment.
11 home runs in the game, though.
You said Christopher Sanchez.
Yeah.
Going to win it. What about Ohtani?
Well, Ohtani's been great.
He's points like 7.4.
Did you look up Sanchez?
I actually was going to real quick.
See, the reason Sanchez is because of the scoreless streak.
Well,
Everybody,
that's a good point.
For the last 3 weeks, everybody's been talking about the scoreless streak that he had.
1.54
Yeah.
ERA.
Yeah, he's
Well,
he gave up a home run last night.
Gave up 4 hits, 2 earned
4
runs.
hits in 7 innings, struck
10
out
Ks.
10. His ERA is 154. His WHIP is 106, which is crazy. But Ohtani,
It's not a given.
Okay, don't you just give Ohtani the MVP and Sanchez the
You can, but whoever's the best pitcher.
I don't know. All right, your Rangers tonight, Tony, they're back at it at Kansas City. You need some wins, right?
Yep. We're a game and a half out, I think, behind the Mariners.
2 out.
2 out.
Seattle won last night, so you're 2 behind the Mariners and 1.5 ahead of the Athletics. My Cubs are terrible. They got Colorado tonight on the road. I'm going to say Colorado scores 14 tonight. Cubs are terrible. And I mentioned the Reds in San Diego against the Padres. Thanks for listening.
Skeens
Back at it tomorrow.
Dodgers.
Spears on Sports, presented by M&M Cartage, Big X.
Pratt Sporting Goods is Southern Indiana's team sports specialist and is your local Adidas team product dealer. Pratt specializes in outfitting your team, organization, club, or business in a
My activities here are past. I want they bury me upside down and my critics can kiss my...
Now, here's your host, Matt Dennison.
It's Indiana, what I feel is the pinnacle, the absolute pinnacle of all of college basketball.
Edition of the show. It's a rainy day, and I have a feeling that the rain has just begun. It's supposed to get wild out there today, and maybe even some storms later tonight. But one thing is for sure, we've got a chance to get a whole bunch of rain in a short period of time, and I just hope that it gets through the area quickly. We've got semi-state baseball coming up this week, and a lot of other things going on. So glad to have you with us. Complete coverage of the Indiana Hoosiers and sports from a Southern Indiana perspective. We do this show each weekday live in the 11 a.m. hour. And hang on just Trey, if you could mute the studio, that would help me out. But let's get into our Hoosier headlines, a summary of the day's top IU and Southern Indiana sports news. A number of things to get to. We're going to talk about a IU football player for next season, Tyreek Tucker, that's getting a lot of praise here in the summer months. The IU women's basketball, the Big Ten portion of the schedule has been announced, at least the home and away opponents. And, you know, when I think of IU women's basketball, they've had some really good years, but they need to bounce back. It was not good. It's not been good the last couple seasons. So we'll take a look at their home and away opponents. Sam Alexis, Hoosier from last year, getting a workout with the Pacers, hoping to have a professional future. I think he will. I just don't think it'll be with the Pacers or the NBA, but we'll talk about that as well. Also, a couple other local notes to mention here as we get into our show today. A little bit later in the hour, Mike Schumann of the Daily Hoosier will check in. If you listen on Tuesdays, you know Mike is an outstanding guest. And we'll go deep into football and basketball here in the off season with him for the latest with IU football and basketball, as we do each Tuesday. If you're an IU fan, it doesn't get much better than our segment on Tuesdays with Mike Schumann of the Daily Hoosier. That's the lineup today, a service of Honey Baked Ham in New Albany. Make sure you check out their store, and if you're planning an event, make it effortless with Honey Baked Ham New Albany. From business meetings and office lunches to graduations, family gatherings, and summer celebrations, Honey Baked has catering solutions to meet your needs. You can visit, call, or order online from the Honey Baked Ham New Albany store today. And that is our lineup today, brought to you by Honey Baked Ham New Albany. The text line is open, 502-414-1450. Again, 502-414-1450. These summer shows that we have, June and July and even August, it's the best time of the year for you to check in with us. We'd love to hear from you, always your questions and comments, but we got more time now to dive in deeper areas that maybe we can't typically get in 1 hour together each day with IU football or basketball. So love to hear from you. 502-414-1450 is the number. Just send in your questions and comments, and we'll work them into the program. And again, we always love to have you with us here on the show each day. Game Day Men's Health is redefining men's wellness. No shortcuts, just results. Testosterone, peptides, weight loss, and sexual performance therapy. You can visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. They are defining a new era in men's health. One more time, that number, 502-414-1450. A couple other reminders for you. We will have semi-state baseball on the radio coming up Saturday. We get to extend the season another week, and we're following the Providence Pioneers, who have been outstanding so far in the postseason, but they are going to meet some really big challenges coming up on Saturday. I think the Pioneers have a shot. If you look at it on paper, as far as the rankings go, I think they are the team that would be the least favorite to win the 4-team semi-state at Jasper. But we'll be there. We hope to be there all day with Providence. We'll be on the air at 10:40 a.m. Eastern Time for Providence and Guerin Catholic. Again, Guerin Catholic, I think number 2 in 3A baseball. Second game at Jasper is Gibson Southern versus Cathedral from Indianapolis. I think both of those semifinal games should be really good. And if Providence wins, we'll stick around for the championship game that night with an 8 o'clock first pitch in that finale. So I like this Providence team. They have been good all season long. They've got great pitching, especially when Gavin Jackson is on the mound. And the good thing is Jackson should be ready to go with a full week's rest between his brilliant regional performance on Saturday over Batesville at Floyd Central and ready to go for that Guerin Catholic game on Saturday morning. It sets up nicely for the Pioneers. 2 games in one day. That probably used to be a bigger deal than what it is now. There's so much travel ball. Kids play 2-3 games in a day when it comes to baseball and basketball. But I always say this, the high school postseason, you get to the regional, the semi-state, these games take a lot out of you. They're nerve-wracking. I don't care what any coach or player says. They take it out of you. So Providence has that early game. I like the draw for them. Gibson Southern Cathedral, they're scheduled for a 2 o'clock first pitch. And remember Saturday, while the games weren't connected down in Evansville at Ballsy Field, remember how late the Jeff game got started? It was an hour late by the time the first game, which was back and forth and slow in a postseason type environment, and the field was reset. So I love the fact Providence gets that 11 a.m. first pitch. It's going to start on time. It helps our broadcast. It helps them get in and out, hopefully with a win, and to get rested up for the Saturday night championship game. But looking forward to a good day of baseball in Jasper. I just hope that we're there all day. And again, Providence on paper, not the favorite. On paper, probably the 3rd or 4th favorite to win the 4-team semi-state, but I would not count them out. I think they've got an outstanding chance at least to win that first game with Jackson, I assume, on the mound as the starting pitcher. And then you get to that championship game against Gibson Southern or Cathedral. And I got a chance to see Gibson Southern a little bit there, the end of that game in Evansville. They played at Ballsy Field before Jeff and Evansville North. They're a very quality club as well. They had some good pitching, some young players as well. So looking forward to being down in Jasper on Saturday. We hope to make a day of it for sure. And hope that you'll join us. If you can't make it to Jasper, you've got other commitments. We'll be on 1450 AM, 96.1 FM, streaming online at bigxsportsradio.com. We always love to have you with us with all of our local coverage of Southern Indiana sports. And so, of course, the big deal is you hope Providence can come through the weekend as our last local team from Clark and Floyd County so we can have a representation in the baseball state finals the following Friday or Saturday, depending on how that draw goes. So excited about the weekend, excited about Saturday, and boy, it is pouring down rain right now in New Albany where I'm at. I hope this stuff gets out of here so we can have uninterrupted, and I think we're supposed to be good later in the week. It might be nasty today and tomorrow, but once we get to the weekend, hope that everything is better. Text line is open, 502-414-1450. Want to catch a quick text before we jump into our headlines today. Patrick Murphy, our friend from the News and Tribune, he always drops in great high school sports tidbits for us. He says Silver Creek sophomores Meredith Conklin and Kishana Lankford, a doubles pair in tennis, advanced to the IHSAA state quarterfinals at 2 p.m. Friday at Park Tudor in Indianapolis. So great for them. I know our focus is baseball, and Providence, our only local remaining. We had some local state track and field reps on the boys and girls side last weekend, and we can't forget about the tennis that's still moving on as well as we get ready to close out the high school sports year for 25-26 for that academic year. It's crazy to say that, but we're almost to that point here in another week and a half or so. It'll be all she wrote, depending on Providence and some of our other local stuff. Let's get into our Hoosier headlines, a summary of the day's top IU and Southern Indiana sports news. Good news for IU football. Lots of good headlines here over the summer. And again, that's what you would expect for a Signetti coach team, a national champions. It's still hard to believe sometimes, but All-American defensive tackle Tyreek Tucker has been named one of the top playmakers by ESPN for the 2026 college football season. He had 40 tackles, 6 sacks, 12 tackles for loss, and 2 pass breakups last season for the Hoosiers. But on Friday, ESPN put him in their top non-quarterback playmakers for the upcoming season. So again, he definitely is getting some good praise here in the preseason. And I didn't realize this until reading the story about his honor, but he's the last remaining former James Madison U transfer on the roster for the upcoming season. He is a redshirt senior. So again, that's that Cignetti group that he brought over with him from James Madison when he took the Indiana job. And at first, I can remember back when Cignetti was announced as IU's new coach, there was, okay, is this the guy? He's coming from, small, mid-major football, but he's got a good track record. This is going to be interesting. And then he brought all those guys from JMU, and you're like, I know they've been good at their level of Division I football, but the Big Ten is a different deal. It's a different story here. It's a different level of physicality. And those players, that in large, that swath of guys that he brought over from James Madison, if you look back on things the last couple of years, they had a big impact on the IU football program in a major way. There's no question that he was able to get guys at JMU that probably had no business being there based on the level of football and what they ended up doing with their careers. But those JMU guys, from Cignetti as the head coach to a number of players that made the move along with Tyreek Tucker, who's the last JMU guy still there, it's been very fruitful, to say the least, and helped Cignetti build a real base as he got things going, and probably more importantly, bringing over his own coaches that knew him, that knew his style, and bringing over a good number of players that had had success at JMU's level really helped set the tone for the expectation in that first offseason for Cignetti when he arrived in Bloomington. So I wanted to mention Tucker and his preseason honor. There'll be a lot more talk about him and some of the other Hoosiers here over the next few months leading up to the season. IU women's basketball, we haven't talked a lot about it. There was a season or two where, with the men faltering, maybe not making the tournament, and the IU had some nice runs in the NCAA postseason, we really got into the women's basketball team, but it's not been that way the last few seasons. This is going to be a big year coming up for Terry Morin and her group to get things turned around. They've hit the portal hard. They've had 2 years, despite Morin being a successful coach. It's back at Indiana. They've had a couple years in a row where they've had to hit the portal hard and really bring in a lot of new faces. They've lost a lot of players for whatever reason, whether that was wanted exits or whether that was unexpected exits. IU women's basketball looks completely different. So the Big Ten breakdown came out yesterday. The home-only games for the women Hoosiers: Illinois, Rutgers, Maryland, Wisconsin, Nebraska, UCLA, Ohio State, and USC. The away-only matchups: Iowa, Northwestern, Michigan, Penn State, Michigan State, Washington, Minnesota, and Oregon. And the one, unlike the men, it's just one home and away guarantee. That's always going to be Purdue. You can always count on the women, just like the men, playing Purdue at home in Bloomington and away as well. So I don't know enough about Big Ten women's basketball after last season to know how things snatch up, but how things lock up. But with that being said, that's what we know about the home and away situation for IU women's basketball and the Big Ten layout of things for next year. Indiana did miss the NCAA tournament for the last season, for the first time in 6 years. They were 18-14 overall, but just 6-12 in the Big Ten Conference, which was 13th overall in the final conference standings. So little IU women's basketball here in the offseason to think about. Sam Alexis, former Hoosier, was in Indianapolis on Friday for a workout with the Pacers. The media asked him some questions after. The Pacers always make their workout players, pre-draft workout players, available for media interviews. I don't know where Alexis will land. I sure don't think it'll be the NBA. He's not projected in any first or second round mock draft that I have seen. Not sure if he'll get a chance at the G League or not. When I think about the NBA, I think probably Lamar Wilkerson first and foremost. Tucker DeVries' name has been out there a little bit, but I don't think either of them are going to get NBA opportunities through the draft. Now, could one of them get picked up as an undrafted free agent? I suppose that's a possibility. But with Alexis, I really don't know what his level will be like professionally. Obviously, you would think he would get an opportunity to play, whether that be overseas or whatever may happen. But good to see him getting a workout for the Pacers. I've not kept up with it enough to know if that's like a legit workout, that they are bringing him in because they want to see him, or they're bringing him in because he's a local still to work out with other guys, or it's a courtesy thing because he's right down the road in Bloomington. I don't know how that stuff works. There used to be some of that stuff that went on where they'd bring in some IU and Purdue guys just kind of out of courtesy, and also they might help work out other guys as well that are there in these small groups. But Sam Alexis did get a workout with the Pacers on Friday. One local thing, I don't think I said this specifically yesterday, so I want to make sure that I bring it up, but the Indiana All-Star girls, they went 1-1 in the series over the weekend with Kentucky. In Lexington, they got down, they came back in the second half, and they lost on a last-second shot by the Kentucky team, which was a disappointment, obviously, for Indiana. Little different story on Saturday, the return game at Gainbridge Fieldhouse on the Indiana side of things. The Indiana girls won 90-71, and really put some space between them and the Bluegrass All-Stars. And the men, the boys, they won both games and looked really good all weekend. But I wanted to mention this. From the girls' game, Brooklyn Wren from Silver Creek, her final high school game ever before she moves on to a Division I career at Kansas. She was really good. 15 points, 11 rebounds, 3 block shots. She was MVP for the team in that 90-71 All-Star girls win for Indiana. So 6 of 13 from the field, 3 of 6 from the free throw line. She had a team-high 28 minutes and 37 seconds of play. And they keep the little plus-minus ratings on the All-Star box score. She was a team best, actually a game best, 27-plus in that game on Saturday. So what a good deal for her in front of family and friends and Silver Creek folks to finish out strong at Gainbridge Fieldhouse with a big-time performance on Saturday. Awesome stuff for Brooklyn Wren. We're going to head to a commercial break. We'll come back here in just a few moments with Mike Schumann of the Daily Hoosier. We'll catch up IU football and IU basketball. We'll cover the gamut with Mike when he joins us coming up in the next segment. Today, we'll also take your text on the Game Day Men's Health text line. That number is 502-414-1450. Again, 502-414-1450. If you've got something about IU football for next season that you're unsure of or something you want to talk about, same with basketball, shoot us a text, 502-414-1450, and Mike Schumann is the guy to help break it all down for us. So stay with us for that segment coming up next. You're listening to a rainy Tuesday edition of the Hoosier Report with Matt Dennison.
Pratt Sporting Goods is Southern Indiana's team sports specialist and is your local Adidas team product dealer. Pratt specializes in outfitting your team, organization, club, or business in apparel, hard goods, and accessories from Adidas and many others. Kratz offers fundraising opportunities for your team, organization, or club through online web stores. Let our friendly staff get you started today by calling 812-282-5400 or visit and shop at our website at kratzsports.com.
Honey Baked Ham in New Albany is the perfect spot for a healthy alternative to fast food. They provide a variety of freshly made sandwiches, as well as salads and delicious soups, and you can dine in or take it to go. They also have many dinner options such as ham, turkey, frozen sides, and desserts, which provide a complete meal. Catering is also available for small groups or large gatherings. Call Honey Baked Ham today, 812-941-9426, or visit them 3602 Northgate Court, Suite 23 in New Albany.
John Spears for M&M Cartage. You see those trucks riding down the road with the M&M Cartage sign? You could be a driver or work as a mechanic on one of those trucks. For 45 years, M&M Cartage has been a locally family-owned transportation company, and they're currently hiring those drivers and mechanics. To join their team, go online to mmcartage.com to apply. Headquartered in Louisville with locations in Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Morristown, Tennessee, and Detroit. That's mmcartage.com to apply.
T.A. Jenkins and T.A. Jenkins Company, LLC, proud sponsor of high school basketball on the Big X. Call Terry Jenkins at 812-989-7381 for your residential and commercial construction needs. Design, build, or remodel, it's T.A. Jenkins Company, LLC, located in New Albany. Email Terry at tajenkins@tajenkinsco.com. That's Ginkins. T.A. Jenkins Company.
Mitch Craig Heating and Cooling, serving the Kentuckiana area, specializing in residential changeout. Mitch Craig Heating and Cooling offers free second opinions. If you get some bad news from your heating and air guy, call Mitch Craig Heating and Cooling, 812-786-0469 for a second opinion. Call Mitch Craig Heating and Cooling, again, 812-786-0469.
All right, I think we're back here on this Tuesday edition of the show. Glad to have you with us. Complete coverage of the Indiana Hoosiers and sports from a Southern Indiana perspective. We're going to go to Mike Schumann of the Daily Hoosier in just a moment. But first, the Game Day Men's Health text line, 502-414-1450. Texter says, Matt, this is not IU related, but it will be interesting to see what UCLA football does in the next couple of years, because the former JMU coach took a ton of JMU players with him to UCLA. Hopefully he won't have the same success that Sig had. I'd forgotten about that, but UCLA did hire the replacement to Sig at JMU, who went on to continue having success there. So will be interesting to see if he can get that JMU to Big Ten football connection going out on the West Coast at UCLA as well. Thanks for the text, and we'd love to hear from you. If you got questions on IU, whatever it may be, football, basketball, recruiting, transfer portal, NIL, the crazy world of college sports these days, you can send them in now at 502-414-1450 on the Game Day Men's Health text line. All of our guests, and we have some good ones on the program, are brought to you by the Elk Run Golf Club, or brought to you on, I should say, the Elk Run Golf Club hotline. And believe it or not, I had a round scheduled around 5 o'clock today at Elk Run, but with all the rain, it's not going to happen. So hate to see the rain come through, but Elk Run Golf Club, a great place to be in the spring and summer, as long as it's not raining like it is now. And I was there last week. The course looks great. Great friendly staff, affordable green fees, just a good place to be for sure. So let's get the rain out of the area so we can get back to Elk Run. And let's go to Mike Schumann of the Daily Hoosier for a conversation on IU football and basketball. Mike, it is a washout today down here in far southern Indiana. Hopefully it's a little brighter and not as rainy up your way in central Indiana.
I'm looking out at a little bit of sunlight right now. Not a convincing amount of sunlight. I think it just went under as I said that. So I think there's rain in the forecast every day this week, so I don't think we're any better off.
Absolutely. I want to keep with the JMU, James Madison University connection. We were talking about Tyreek Tucker, Mike, in the first segment today about how he really was recognized by ESPN on, I think it was Friday, as one of the top non-quarterback playmakers for the upcoming season. And in reading about that, I realized he's the last JMU crossover that came with Cignetti and the coaching staff when he was hired into IU. And it kind of made me reflect for a minute. If you think back and really look statistical, leadership, a number of different ways, that JMU crew that Sig brought with him, they were very, very important to getting this IU football program turned around. And that's something as we move on down the line from these opening years of Cignetti and Bloomington that I think shouldn't be forgotten. JMU's been good to IU.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. From the players, I think it was a total of 13 players that came over to, the coordinators, Haynes, Shanahan, Grant Kane, and a couple assistant coaches. There's no doubt. And Cignetti's been pretty open and honest about that, that eased the transition. There's no doubt about it. But what he's also said recently, because you do hear these questions like, what's Cignetti going to do now? All his JMU guys are gone, and his point is, the IU guys that have been with him for the last 2 years, those are the JMU guys, the Isaiah Jones, the Elijah Hardy, the Carter Smith, and on you go. It was really never about James Madison, quote unquote. It was about Kurt Cignetti, his culture, his staff. Everything that goes into that. I think they just as well could have done it at, name the school, because guess what? They did it in Indiana. And as he said right after he won the national title, if you can do it at Indiana, you can do it anywhere. So it is nevertheless an interesting story to think about Tyreek being the last one of those guys. And I did think it was cool that ESPN recognized him, because those interior guys on both sides of the ball, D-line and O-line, don't get a lot of recognition. So that was nice to see for Tyreek.
Absolutely. The texter that I read there about JMU's coach to UCLA, that's Bob Chesney that took over at UCLA this offseason. And I think he was not under Cignetti or connected to Cignetti at all at JMU. I believe he came from another small college program before he took over at JMU upon Cignetti's departure. So we can't credit his success to the Cignetti chain, I don't believe, Mike. Is that correct?
That is correct. I can't remember the school. I want to say, just purely off memory, something like Lafayette or Lehigh or a school of that caliber. But he did really well at JMU and kind of kept things rolling. And Cignetti also kept things rolling at JMU. JMU's been a good program for a long time. So, whoever is making those hiring decisions there ought to get a raise, is what I would say.
Absolutely. And staying with Coach Cignetti, I feel like we talk about him every week. He's probably my favorite off-season top conversation starter, but he was named to the Time Magazine's 100 most influential people in sports in 2026. And that's obvious. I mean, I think he could maybe be one of the top sports stories or coaching hires perhaps ever in the history of sports, as crazy as that sounds. But those type of honors keep his name out there consistently in the college football world. And it's hard to not want, I mean, you never know what can happen. It's hard to know what this year, next season, 5 years from now look like with IU football. Who knows how long Cignetti is going to be in Bloomington. He said that this is his final stop. He will retire as a Hoosier. He has said that many times. But when this is looked back upon years from now, and I mean a number of years, 15, 20, 25 years from now, there'll be other great sports stories. There'll be other great coaching hires and program turnarounds and all that kind of stuff. But I got to believe, Mike, that this will always be one of the top turnaround stories, one of the top hires in college sports, one of the top sports hires ever. And I said this to somebody the other day. I would be flabbergasted if Netflix or somebody doesn't make a streaming series or a movie or a legitimate in-theater movie over Cignetti and IU football. I know that may sound crazy to some, but I wholeheartedly believe that will happen. I really do. So just throwing out a lot of crazy Cignetti stuff today to get started. But he's the man, Mike, and he continues to get accolades and honors. And we'll see if my movie or streaming prediction does come true at some point.
Yeah, and as I understand it, a lot of those movies and streaming requests have already come in and already been turned down. I don't think it's something he's going to entertain until he retires. Is my sense, and I think you're right though. I think the story of the last 2 years, no matter what happens from here on out, is going to be one of the greatest sports stories of all time. Certainly movie worthy. Not just because of what he did, but because of what Indiana was before he arrived. Those two factors together just make it really unprecedented. And so I think the details of the story are going to play out here over the next, however long he stays. I would say, 8 to 10 years would be my best guess. Can they sustain this? And when I say sustain it, I mean, certainly as the college football playoff continues to uh, grow here, which it seems destined to do, to be a college football playoff caliber team year in and year out. If that's the story that plays out here, and all signs point to that being the case, then the movie is only going to get better. The streaming series is only going to get better. It is just truly. I think for people like me and you, it's just especially shocking because we endured generations. I'll speak for myself because I don't know if I'm older than you, but literally generations of just awful, not just bad, just awful, miserable football at Indiana, and to see it just on a dime turn into the greatest sports story of all time, or certainly one of them. It's something that I don't know that I'll ever be able to process.
Yeah, no question about it. Just a crazy story that we have talked and talked about, and I don't think that's ever going to come to a close, to be quite honest. Mike Schumann of the Daily Hoosier is my guest. His website is thedailyhoosier.com. You can follow him on social media at daily_Hoosier on most social media channels. He's a great guest with us Tuesdays here on the program. Other football stuff right now, recruiting seems to be rolling. The 27 high school class is coming together nicely. And I've been a big believer. I know basketball, obviously, I feel a lot better than football, but I don't know anything when it comes to roster construction these days of a basketball or a football program. However, it does feel right when you have a good balance of a very strong transfer portal class coming in right now, which Indiana does, and also a very good high school class coming together for the following season, which Indiana has that now as well. So to me, basketball, football, I know there's been some case studies, I guess you'd call them, into this. A lot of people looked at Connecticut basketball when they won the 2 consecutive men's NCAA titles, but I'm always going to side with, until somebody can prove otherwise, a good transfer portal and a good recruiting class mix is the way to build a program that is solid year after year. And that appears to be the mix and the vision of Signetti and his coaches based on who they're recruiting and how things are going.
Yeah, and the one thing I'll say about that is that I think if you have a limited budget, which, I would say 95% of programs, including IU, do have a limited budget. If you're not Texas Tech or Ohio State, Miami, a few others, you do have to carefully plan how you allocate your funds. And I've kind of locked in on a couple things Signetti has said here in the last few weeks. He noted how the high school market is 4 to 5 times higher than what it was even last year, which I find to be staggering. And he's also noted that high school players are a lot harder to evaluate than college players because, obviously the college players have a proven track record at the level that you're recruiting them for. So I'm interested to see with Signetti because he is actually the guy who allocates the funds for Indiana. He's like the general manager of the team as well. So he decides who gets what and how much he's willing to spend on an individual player. And, as this 27 class develops, I still don't think we have a clear picture, but, Indiana's class right now is only ranked around 30th nationally, and there's still a lot to play out, and I want to see how it plays out before I draw definitive conclusions. But I'm starting to get the sense, based on what he's saying and the results that we're seeing, is that he's going to kind of gravitate towards saving those funds more for the transfers than the high school prospects. Not because he doesn't believe in high school prospects, but because the budget is limited, and if he's going to err, he's going to err on the side of the proven guys. That's what I'm starting to see. I don't think we'll know for sure until we see recruitments like a Monson Sales and some of these other really, high-end 4 stars and 5 stars that they're still after, how those play out. But that seems to be the trend right now.
Absolutely. Mike Schumann, the Daily Hoosier, with us. Mike, before we get to men's basketball today, I do want to talk just a little bit of IU women's hoops with you. We talked about the Big Ten layout as far as who are home, who are away, and then, of course, Purdue, a home and away matchup for the IU women. A rough year last year and back-to-back seasons of major roster turnover, which, again, it's not uncommon, but just a little surprising because, there's been no coaching change, and Terry Morin is widely regarded as a great, women's college basketball coach. So with that said, IU women's basketball, kind of a big off season for them as they bring together a lot of new faces, and a lot like with the men and Coach DeVries, Terry Morin probably feeling a little pressure for one of the first times maybe in her IU career as of late.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. I would definitely agree with the word pressure. I wouldn't go so far as to say like hot seat or anything like that. But she does, I'm sure, feel pressure to figure out kind of the trend that the program's in right now, which is kind of on the decline after, some Sweet 16 appearances and an Elite 8 appearance. And, I think they have a roster coming in that should allow them to stabilize it and kind of get the trend going back the direction that they want it to be. And certainly with the NCAA tournament going to 76 teams, I think there's a very good opportunity to get back in the tournament this year with this roster. You got 3 by the end of the year, women who were starters in Beaumont, Makaluski, and Saka Naguman, although she was hurt. Kind of serving as the foundation. You got 4 high major transfers coming in, all with pretty meaningful experience at that level. And you also have I think last I checked, it's national top 10, if not top 20, high school recruiting class. So they have a lot of important pieces. I don't see it as like a breakout year where they're going to compete at the top of the Big Ten, but I certainly see it as a kind of stabilizing, getting the trend going back in the right direction, and getting back in the NCAA tournament type of year with what they have. And I think what's been missing the last couple of years is just overall athleticism and length. And I think you're seeing Terry Morin with her additions in the transfer portal and her high school additions start to address some of that.
Absolutely. Texter on the Game Day Men's Health text line 502-414-1450 says, I think that Ashlyn James of Assumption should be mentioned as a real positive for Terry Morin and the IU women's team. Ashlyn was Miss Basketball in Kentucky and the leading scorer for the Kentucky girls in both All-Star games last weekend. I got a chance to see her play for the first time in person on Friday, and she definitely is a positive. Mike, are you familiar with her? I think anytime you can get a Miss Basketball from Indiana or Kentucky, that probably is going to bode well for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have not seen her play, so why don't I shut up and let you talk? What's your scouting report after watching her? I heard she played really well and was the leading scorer in some of those games.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of I got to the girls' game about halftime. Traffic was bad getting into Lexington. I had to work, so didn't get there at the start with the group of guys I went with. But definitely just in that half I saw her play, Kentucky had control of the game until IU came storming back, and she did not hit the game-winning shot on Friday night. That was another player. I think the last name was Wilkins. I can't remember from Kentucky where she was going to college, but she seemed like an all-around player, a lot of speed, and you could just tell. Like, I think Assumption's a great program in Louisville, great coaching staff. And anybody that's missed basketball, you could just tell her knowledge for the game, even in an all-star setting, because it's a pretty competitive all-star setting. There's a big rivalry between the states. So but definitely impressive in the half I saw. She was the leading scorer. She helped really trigger the comeback for Kentucky, and then her basketball IQ stuck out to me as well. So I think the texter is right. A big get here for IU women's basketball. It's nice to talk a little IU women's here this offseason.
And I would just add that Gigi Battle is probably the headliner in the class. You know, given that I haven't seen the others play as much, I have seen Gigi Battle play, and I would say I fully expect her to come in and be a major contributor right off the bat as a freshman. So I think, you know, if you can get contributions from James and you know, Addison Niemczek, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, is a McDonald's All-American. So there is some serious talent in that freshman class.
Absolutely. Mike, I want to get to a couple men's basketball topics like always, but I'd be remiss. I didn't have time to squeeze it in the first segment today, but this Sorsby stuff is crazy. You know, he's as it stands now, a court has ruled he can play, and I think I saw the SEC athletic directors getting together today to talk about encouraging their teams not to schedule his school, which, you know, is Texas Tech. I mean, that in itself is crazy. Other non-conference schools, and this is in all sports, reaching out and having, you know, sending out memos to their athletic coaches and administrators that handle the scheduling. So I always say every day, every week, we see something in college sports that we've not seen before. It's just changing so quick, and this is the first. I was flabbergasted by the fact that the courts have said he can play, and I'm just very confused about the whole situation and how this is affecting others and not just college football. So it's a very, very odd situation and not a good one for college football and college sports.
Yeah, I think the most notable aspect of it for me yesterday, as it as the story kind of developed, is that there was almost universal agreement that this was unacceptable from fans, from the media, from everybody that was commenting on it, except for some Texas Tech fans, which you would expect. I think if you we're talking about somebody from any team. The fans of that team would try to spin it in their favor, including IU. So it's not necessarily a commentary about Texas Tech fans. And I don't even really think up until yesterday Texas Tech had done anything wrong. But I do think this is a moment in time where adults need to step up, and the leadership at Texas Tech, all the way down to Sorsby himself, need to just acknowledge this isn't right. This isn't good for the sport. It's a threat to everybody who makes a living or plays the sport, and it just can't happen. Now, whether or not that will actually turn out to be the case, I can't predict, but it seems like already, as you referenced, there's people lining up to figure out ways to, go against what's happening here, because there's just a universal recognition that this is a step too far. You can't have a guy who has bet on his own team, knowingly bet on college sports when he knows it's not allowed. It's very clear to these athletes. They're reminded of it on a regular basis. So it's just an absolute cannot happen, threatens the integrity of the sport. It's going to cause guys who maybe were thinking about betting on their teams or on college sports, see that there's no punishment for this and cross the line. It's going to have ramifications that we can't even imagine, and none of them that I can think of are any good. So something has to happen here to change that, and it may, as the NCAA leadership said, it may have to come through Congress. However it happens, this is kind of just a step too far, and I think most people acknowledge that.
Absolutely. Mike Schumann, the Daily Hoosier, with us as we transition back to basketball. Want to talk a little bit about last night in the NBA Finals. The Spurs win a thriller in New York City to try to bounce back and answer back just a little bit in the NBA Finals series. It's 2 for the Knicks and 1 for the Spurs, with another game coming up in New York here on Wednesday. I got to mention OG Anunoby again. He's had some great postseason stat lines. He's had some great games. He had some key shots last night once again. But, man, the Knicks and OG, I think they'll get it done. It might not be the sweep that some people thought after the Knicks went down to San Antonio and won 2 in a row. But there definitely is, I think, momentum on their side for them to get this done, unless the Spurs can put some kind of crazy comeback together. But it would be nice to see OG, a former IU guy, and the Knicks maybe get this NBA trophy.
Yeah, certainly. If nothing else, it seems like the Spurs put the pressure back on the Knicks for Game 4, because if they can get it tied up, then they've basically vanquished everything that the Knicks accomplished in the first two games. So, Game fours are always interesting. They're kind of the turning points in these series, and I'm certainly interested in watching that game. As you're saying, OG Anunoby, to me, what I keep thinking about when I watch him in these playoffs is like he is finally healthy, and he's finally the player that kind of everybody thought he could be. Like, he is just a complete three-level scorer. He's an elite defender. He does it all. I think last night he was 9 of 13 from the field, 28 points. So it certainly wasn't his fault that the game turned out the way it did. Just some big-time shot making by the Spurs and some good defense down the stretch. But yeah, it's been a good series to watch. Because I'm not really partial to either team, I'm kind of glad to just see it get a little bit more interesting and at least have a Game 4 that matters.
Absolutely. All right, Mike Schumann, the Daily Hoosier, with us Tuesdays on the program. The latest on IU basketball, football, and more at thedailyhoosier.com. Mike, thank you. We'll talk again next week as we continue working our way through the off season of college sports, but college football will be here before you know it. Mike, thank you.
All right, Matt. Thank you. Talk to you later.
All right, we'll head to a commercial break. Text line is open. We've got some time for your text in the final segment today. 502-414-1450 is the number. We'll be right back after this on the Hoosier Report with Matt Dennison.
Looking for more than just a great round of golf? Head to Elk Run Golf Club, your year-round destination for fun. Yes, we have our 18-hole par 72 course, but you can play year-round no matter the weather on one of our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Elk Run also features a full bar with lots of TVs, making it the perfect spot for game day. Planning a party, meeting, or a celebration, our event space is perfect for any occasion. Just minutes from downtown Louisville, we're waiting for you at Elk Run Golf Club in Jeffersonville.
Hello, I'm Todd Metter, President and founder of TCAM Financial Services. I've been blessed to serve clients in the financial services industry since 1993, and I've learned it's never too little, never too late to take control of your finances and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Listen to my live call-in show on Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. on WGTK 970. A Nickel and a Plan Finance Show is real talk about all things money, done with a musical twist. Tune in and even join in as we talk markets, investment strategies, financial planning, risk management, how the financial services industry really works, and more. Listen to replays of A Nickel and a Plan Finance Show on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. on Big X Sports 96.1 FM and 1450 AM. For more information about the services TKM offers, online at tkmfsllc.com or 450-PLAN, that's 450-7526. TKM Financial Services, comprehensive in approach, client first, in nature.
Defining a new era in men's health, Game Day Men's Health delivers real results. No shortcuts. From testosterone replacement, weight loss, to peptides, vitamins, and sexual performance therapy, they will have you covered. From their in-house lab that gives you answers in just 15 minutes in our clinic that is designed for men who value speed, privacy, and most importantly, results. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Real men, real science, real change. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
Hi, it's your old hardwood floor. Yeah, the one with all the loose nails that snag your socks and shred your Swiffers. I know it's intimidating to replace me, but Carpet Mart makes it simple. They have every kind of hard surface flooring you could want, and even better, they take great care of you through the whole process. With Carpet Mart, you get confidence with every step. With me, you can get tightness with every step. Get started at mycarpetmart.com.
Spice up your office parties and home get-togethers with Salsarita's Fresh Mexican Grill. Enjoy real, fresh food, including their famous craveable queso and chips. Catering is available for delivery, setup, or pickup. Call now. Salsaritas.
Check the back seat. All right, come here. Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good. Because every year, dozens of children are forgotten in the backseat of a car by a parent or caregiver. All never thought it could happen to them. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
T.A. Jenkins and T.A. Jenkins Company, LLC, proud sponsor of high school basketball on the Big X. Call Terry Jenkins at 812-989-7381 for your residential and commercial construction needs. Design, build, or remodel. It's T.A. Jenkins Company, LLC, located in New Albany. Email Terry at tajenkins@tajenkinsco.com. That's Ginkins. T.A. Jenkins Company.
You're going to have about 4 minutes.
I'm Kathy Binkaman. Over the holiday, there was an attempted fraud attack. My personal banker, Mary Rose, and I networked together, and the first thing that I thought of was I have to text her. And it was just within the next few minutes, there was an entire team that came together collectively. And that's just not the type of service that you typically get from your bank.
That's Kathy's story. Now let's get to work on yours. Republic Bank. Time to thrive. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Hoosier Report with Matt Dennison, presented by Ivy Tech Sellersburg.
You know, a basketball hero around here is treated like a god.
Your daily home for complete coverage of the Indiana Hoosiers and sports from a Southern Indiana perspective.
You know, most people would kill to be treated like a god just for a few moments.
Here's Matt Dennison.
All right, we're back here on this Tuesday edition of the program. Couple text on the Game Day Men's Health text line. Texter says, Matt just shows that oil talks in Texas. The judge should be barred. I think you're talking about the Sorsby deal, but thanks for sharing that. Trevor, mute the studio, please. Also, another text says, OG Anunoby has really developed as an offensive threat for the Knicks. He was never really a consistent three-point threat until the last couple of years. He was always a great defender. Tom Crean must be smiling. That is a great text, a good way to close the program today. I'm a huge OG Anunoby fan. We probably mention him more than any other IU alum on this program, but yeah, a lot of fun. And I got to say, I love Wemby. I like Harper's game. I think the Spurs are the team of the future, probably in the NBA. I thought that about the Thunder as well. Maybe they'll be back a little more healthy next year and regain that crown. I'm not sure, but I'm kind of for the Knicks. I came into the whole thing for the Spurs, the whole playoffs, that is, for Wemby and the Spurs, but I'm kind of hoping OG gets it done, so we'll see how it plays out. Couple programming notes. Friday, I've actually got a 2-hour show for you. We'll be live at Old Capitol Golf Club down in Corden. They've got their Old Capitol Invitational. It's always a lot of fun. We'll be sitting out, I think, by the first hole there in the little gazebo. Dugan Ryan is going to join. I think we've got another special guest that's going to be with us for a portion of that show. So looking forward to being down in Corden. If you're nearby, come on out and say hello. But we're looking forward to a little bit of a longer program as well. So we'll have some of our regular guests in the 11 o'clock hour, and then we'll do some other things in the 10 o'clock hour. But we will be on the air from 10 to noon coming up on Friday from Old Capitol Golf Club down in Corden during their big invitational tournament. And then Saturday, 10:40 a.m. pregame report, Providence and Guerin Catholic from the 3A South Regional Semi-State. Let me get that right. 3A South Semi-State at Jasper's Ruxer Field. Looking forward to being down in Jasper, another great venue for postseason baseball.